Translation is the bloodline of literature. Today, we continue to celebrate Jose Rizal, foremost thinker and martyr from the Philippines, whose novels Noli Tangere and El Filibusterismo have changed the course of our country's history. I am Kristian Cordero, the co-head of the Translation Committee, and I am pleased to welcome all of you to this special book launching of the German translations of Rizal's novels. For those of you who need translation, please identify yourself so as we can give you your gadgets. We would like to acknowledge the presence of the project visionary of this Philippine guest of honor to the Frankfurt Book Fair, Senator Loren Legarda. We also would like to acknowledge the publishers who took the chance in publishing these German translations of Jose Rizal's novels, Surkamp Verlag and Morio Verlag. To formally introduce to us the Noli Tangere, may I call on historian Dr. Stephanie Ku to do a reading of her introduction.
The 1987 edition, published 100 years after the first Noli was printed, is now out of print. The original publisher was Incel Verlag, now Surkamp Verlag. Because the translator of that edition has passed away, Surkamp had to buy the reprint rights from her estate. From the daughter of Anne-Marie del Puerto Lopez Morth, her translation from Rizal's Spanish text, though considered excellent, has been updated for today's readers. In addition to the 1989 edition, the 2025 one also contains the epilogue by Filomeno V. Aguilar Jr., Rizal scholar and one of our grantees. The first print run is 5,235 copies, and the second print run brings the total to 8,300 copies to make sure to have enough books available for the fair. The Philippine Consulate General in Frankfurt has 3 German editions published in different years. The reading in English of Noli excerpt that is translated to German will be done by Nikki Carsi Cruz, educator, theater scholar, editor of the Ateneo de Manila University, where she is chair of the Department of Interdisciplinary Studies. Let us welcome Dr. Nikki Carsi Cruz.
The excerpt I will read from Noli Tangere is a very short one. It's about the time Sisa is arrested and she will soon after lose her sanity. This is a very strong passage, but I will read the parts that are more subtle. It's just an everyday scene that anybody can relate to, the pain of a parent and public humiliation. It is meant to emphasize the powerlessness of the poor. It shows the powerful writer that Jose Rizal was. And its excerpt is from the 1996 English translation of Maria Soledad Lacson Locsin, published by Bookmark. It is from chapter 21, A Mother's Story. She had not gone very far when she heard them calling her in an imperious tone. She trembled, but proceeded on as if she hadn't heard them. They called her again, this time with an insulting word. She turned pale and trembled, despite her efforts to stay calm. One of the guards was beckoning to her with his hand. Sisa, like a robot, came nearer, felt her tongue paralyzed with terror and her throat drying. "Tell us the truth, otherwise we will tie you to that tree and shoot you," one of them said with a threatening voice. The woman turned her gaze towards the tree. Are you the mother of thieves, you? Asked the other soldier. Mother of thieves? Caesar repeated mechanically. Where is the money that your sons gave you last night? The money? Don't you deny it, or it will be worse for you, added the other one. We have come to arrest your sons, and the elder escaped. And where did you keep your youngest, Crispin? When she heard this, Caesar sighed in relief. Sir, she replied, it has been many days since I have seen my son Crispin. I hoped to see him this morning in the convent, but only then there I was told that. The soldiers exchanged meaningful glances. All right, exclaimed one of them. Give us the money and we will leave you in peace. Sir, pleaded the unfortunate woman, my sons do not steal even when they are hungry. We are accustomed to being hungry. Basilio has not brought me even a cuarto. Search all the contents in my dwelling. If you find a single coin, you may do with us as you please. We who are poor, we are not all thieves. Well then, said the soldier slowly, fixing his eyes on those of Caesar. You will come with us. Your sons will have to show up and give up the money you have stolen. You follow us. Me? Follow you? Murmured the woman, backing off and looking with fear at the soldiers in uniform. And why not? Have pity on me, she pleaded, almost on her knees. I am very poor. I do not have gold or jewelry to offer you. The only possession I have, you have already taken, the hen that I wanted to sell. Take with you everything that you can find in my hut, but leave me in peace. Just leave me here to die. Come on, you have to come with us, and if you don't follow us willingly, we will tie you up. Caesar broke out in bitter weeping. These men were inflexible. Let me follow you at least at some distance, she pleaded when they brutally handled and pushed her forward. The two soldiers, somewhat moved, conferred between themselves in a low voice. All right, said one of them. Since from here up to the entrance of the town, you might run away, you will have to walk between us two. And once we get there, you may walk about 20 steps ahead. Don't you dare enter any shop. Don't stop either. Let us proceed quickly. All her supplications were in vain, as were her reasons, and useless were her promises. The soldier said they were conceding too much, which might compromise them. Seeing herself marching between the two, she felt she could die of shame. It is true, no one was in sight. But what about the breeze and the light of the day? True modesty sees glances from all sides. She covered her face with her handkerchief, and thus going on blindly, she wept in bitter humiliation. She was aware of her misery.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. To introduce the second novel, El Filibusterismo, may I call on my co-chair, Nene Santa Romana Cruz, to be followed by another reading.
El Filibusterismo has been translated as The Rebellion. It's published by Morio Verlag, an imprint of Mitteldeutscher Verlag. A German edition of Fili was published by the publishing house in 2016. The translator died, and they felt that he did not really finish what he wanted to translate. What does the publisher say? We published this because it's one of the most important books in Philippine literature and had never been accessible to German readers before. This is how we finally brought Jose Rizal back into the German book world. They hired a translator, a new one, Thomas Leischner, who carefully reviewed this edition. He compared the old edition and looked at the original Spanish, and what did he find out? That entire sentences were never translated, and so he translated this. The publishing house says it was a long process because in total there were 13,538 corrections. So they're so excited to say that this is the best possible edition today. Caroline Howe, who is the Kyoto-based Filipino writer and scholar, wrote the intro to this edition. Now, the Philippine consulate in Frankfurt has 9 German editions published over the years. But this edition of Morio, they brag, is the most updated. To read an excerpt for us today, we welcome Yvette, a writer, an educator, an agriculture editor, an award-winning horror writer in the country. So we're lucky to have her read Jose Rizal for us.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to read from The Rebellion, also called El Filibusterismo by Jose Rizal. About the excerpt I'm going to read, Simon, the main character's nocturnal monologue on revenge and moral doubt. So Simon looks out from his window over Manila, plans the uprising, and is haunted by pangs of conscience. This excerpt is from the 1997 English translation of Maria Soledad Lacson Locsin, published by Bookmark. It is from chapter 19, The Fuse. It is on page 216 to 218 in the German translation. Simon, from a room in his house which looked out on the Pasig River, turned his gaze towards the walled city, which could be glimpsed through the open windows, with its galvanized iron roofs gleaming under the moon, its towers etched, sad, heavy, and melancholic, in the serene atmosphere of the night. Simon had removed his blue glasses. His white hair was like a silver frame for his bronze features, dimly lighted by a lamp whose flame threatened to die for lack of oil. Simon, apparently preoccupied by a thought, did not perceive that little by little the lamp was agonizing and darkness was at hand. Within a few days, he murmured, when from her four sides flames burn that wicked city, den of presumptuous nothingness and the impious exploitation of the ignorant and the unfortunate, when tumult breaks out in the suburbs and there rush into the terrorized streets my avenging hordes, engendered by rapacity and wrongdoing, then I will shatter the walls of your prison. I will snatch you from the clutches of fanaticism, white dove. You will be the phoenix that will be reborn from the glowing ashes. A revolution plotted by men in obscurity tore me from your side. Another revolution will bring me to your arms, will revive me, and that moon, before reaching the apogee of its splendor, will light the Philippines, cleansed of her repugnant refuse. Simon stopped suddenly as if interrupted. A voice was asking in the depths of his conscience if he, Simon, were not also part of the refuse of the wicked city, perhaps its most malignant ferment. And like the dead who are to rise at the sound of the oracular trumpet, 1,000 bloody ghosts, desperate shadows of murdered men, of women violated, fathers torn from their families, vices stimulated and fomented. Virtue's outrage now rose in echo to the mysterious question. For the first time in his criminal career since in Havana, by the use of vice and bribery, he sought to forge an instrument to execute his plans, a faithless man, without patriotism and without conscience. For the first time in that life, something rose up within and protested against his actions. Simon closed his eyes and remained motionless for some time. He passed a hand over his forehead. He refused to look into his own conscience and felt fear. No, he did not want to analyze himself. He lacked the courage to cast a glance at his past, to be wanting in courage precisely when the moment to act neared, to lack conviction, faith in himself. And as the ghosts of the wretches in whose destiny he had an influence continued hovering before his eyes, as if issuing from the brilliant surface of the river and invading his room, crying out to him and stretching out their hands as the reproaches and laments seemed to fill the air, audible with the threats and accents of vengeance, he turned his gaze from the window and for the first time perhaps started to tremble. No, I must be ill. I must not be feeling well, he murmured. There are many who hate me, those who ascribe their misfortunes to me, but... And feeling his forehead burning, he stood up and approached the window to breathe in the fresh breeze of the night. At his feet, the Pasig dragged along its silver current, on whose surface lazily glittered the foam, rolling, advancing and receding, following the course of the little eddies. The city rose on the opposite bank, its black walls looking fateful, mysterious, losing its penury in the moonlight that idealizes, embellishes everything. Simon shivered again. He seemed to see before him his father's severe countenance, dying in prison, but dying for having done good. And the face of another man, more severe still, a man who had given his life for him because he believed that he was going to bring about the rebirth of his country. No, I cannot turn back, he exclaimed, wiping the sweat from his forehead. The work has gone far, and its success will justify me. If I had conducted myself like you, I would have succumbed, away with idealism, away with hellacious theories. Fire and steel to the cancer, chastisement to vice, and afterwards destroy the instrument if it be bad. No, I have planned well, but now I feel feverish. My reason wavers. But it is natural. If I have done evil, it was with the objective of doing good, and the end justifies the means. What I will do is not to expose myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yvette. We are pleased to have with us Ms. Noelle Sy-Quia, a descendant of Jose Rizal, to share with us some memories about our country's national hero. Ma'am.
Good afternoon. I actually prepared a totally different speech. I'm now being asked to talk about the family, and this is what I don't have with me. But then please allow me to remind everybody that next year there are several milestone anniversaries referring to Rizal. This is what I prepared for this evening. So let us start. Way back, the first anniversary is on the 12th of June. It's the 70th anniversary of the so-called Rizal Law, which was promulgated 70 years ago, and it's called either the Rizal Law or the Republic Act 1425. It made the study of Rizal's writings obligatory at college level at least, except there was an exception included in that law which exempted Catholic schools because at that time both novels were still in the Vatican Index of Prohibited Books. This index was abolished in 1966.
So it is also the 60th anniversary of that abolishment. And then this is followed by the 165th anniversary of his birth in 1861. So next year. And then, last but not least, in December, it's the 135th anniversary of his martyrdom. So 2026 is rather an important year for us. I would like to take this opportunity to please ask journalists, columnists, and writers to bring back the presence of Rizal everywhere they can around the world. Because I think it is very important that his works be read again, now that there are so many translations in various languages. He was an idealist, and idealism seems to have disappeared from the current world. And I think it would be a very good thing if we could at least inspire the upcoming youth back into idealism and perhaps, away from all the nasty things that are happening. And that was my message.
Thank you, Ms. Sy-Quia. Thank you for giving us that very good timeline. At this point, we would like to call on Tita Nene Santa Romana Cruz to present the first copies of the German translations of Noli Tangere and El Filibusterismo to Senator Loren Legarda. Ma'am.
Congratulations. Thank you again. Yeah. Yeah. This is complimentary. You have to pay for it.
No, compliment. The least we can do.
Yeah. Let's have a photo. I wonder who. Just a question. Who did the artwork here?
The
I'm
publishing company.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the cover. Why is there lanzones?
We also asked the question.
Is it
ma'am, to them.
lanzones?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It's lanzones.
Did Rizal? How we might know? Did Rizal eat lanzones?
No, we told them it's not mentioned in the book. Why did you put lanzones?
Yeah.
But it's something that the editorial staff fancied.
Oh, okay.
So I
So he
couldn't
put in this
argue.
editorial judgment.
Yes.
And Rizal is from Laguna, ma'am, and the editorial staff said that
There must be a reason.
the lanzones is Laguna.
From Laguna also. San Pablo.
There you go.
That goes. There's a reason for everything, right? And why yellow? Why yellow? Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to destroy the book launch. I just ask a lot of questions. I'm impertinent sometimes.
Okay.
Can we have?
come.
Can we all
Come
stand,
in
ladies?
both.
Just maybe stay on your seats, and we don't cover. Yeah.
I just looked it up. He did eat lanzones. He planted lanzones trees in Tapitan.
Ang galing mo talaga.
Oh. Nagtanim ho ng lanzones. Rizal planted lanzones in the Pitan.
Pero teka, taga Laguna siya at ang lanzones sa Laguna. Siguro masarap din yung lanzones sa Zamboanga. Yeah. Okay. Sige. Very good. So really, we should ask the person who published this and did the artwork. There must be a reason why he put lanzones and why it's yellow. Because this is very traditional, right? Okay. And ito, paanong mga... at saka yung scenery, no? Yung bundok. Bundok ng... Yeah. Anyway, sige. Panggulo pa ako dito.
Tita, we join the senator, please.
The first edition of the Noli had a black background. It was very sort of morbid.
And this is
And this is a cheerful.
Yeah.
cover.
Okay.
And I think we'll invite buyers to get it more, to at least take it from the bookstand and read the back.
So we hope our German friends here will start buying the books.
It's more attractive. Can we start? Let's Miss Sy-Quia, yeah, we all hold the book. Let's have a nice souvenir photo. On the screen, can we put it to the title card, please? Naging director. Yes.
Title card. Title card.
Title card, please.
The book,
Alam sa production.
that one.
May I request, Ino, to come? Yes. And Edie and Eric. Yes, join me, please. And hold a copy of the book.
Yeah.
Lanzones book, okay? Howie, research mo, ha? Yan. Confirm. Ginugol mo? ChatGPT, ano? He ate lanzones in the pitan. He planted lanzones in the pitan.
They also did.
Yes.
PR.
Ayan, yan. Okay.
Here, hold it. Pero bagay sa iyo, Noli, yung yellow. It goes with your outfit.
Okay.
Okay. Diba, napansin mo lanzones? Tapos merong bundok at saka
You call
coconut tree. Sige, alika, let's pose nicely.
come. One line. We have to move. Okay.
Thank you very much. We also would like you to...
Actually, I have a prepared No, I have a prepared speech, but I wanted to listen to all of you. But before that, I want to ask Ambet Ocampo, possibly, I don't know who did the artwork. Why do you think the Germans put lanzones?
Well, lanzones grows in Laguna, and Jose Rizal did an essay or a short story on Mariang Makiling, and we know that Mariang Makiling was the one that removed the poison from the lanzones.
I didn't know that. See? Really? Why? Was lanzones poisonous?
Lanzones was poisonous until she kaya lason, di ba? And
Ayun, may dahilan.
That's the folk.
See? So it's good to ask questions. That's a lesson today. You have to ask, not just accept. So again, he's from Laguna, of course, and Maria Makiling is Los Baños, but he's Calamba, not and malapit.
Maria Makiling
Yeah.
from his
Pero ba't wala yung Makiling dito? Ibang bundok ito.
the chocolate.
Sige.
Those are in.
Chocolate. No, he's being philosopher. He said Chocolate Hills. Why would they put
Kasi
Chocolate Hills?
he's pushing Bohol, no? So we should talk about Laguna.
No. This is already
tingin
getting
nga.
complicated. Ino says
Oh,
they put
Chocolate Hills,
No, there are no coconut trees in Chocolate Hills. There is that illegal resort in Chocolate Hills, but not. So there's a debate going on
has
here. on
shares there.
So again, Maria Makiling took out
The poison from the lanzones.
from the lanzones, which Rizal ate. No, ano na yun. Anyway, so yun ang pwedeng palaisipan, di ba?
He had an essay on what? Mariang Makiling.
Mariang Makiling. Yeah.
Binola mo naman kami.
No, the eminent historian does not.
How many books are you giving?
Oh, how are you?
You're
You have to
getting all
give me
your
a
books.
prize.
All of these books?
No, this.
You have to give
Thank
me
you
a
very
prize.
much. We would like to do another photo ops.
I'll buy you ng sonnet. For your
Free? Sherry?
your copy will follow.
My photo opportunity.
Because she's leaving.
My sequence hook, ma'am.
Ano pa?
Okay, with the panelists first, and then with officers of our cultural agencies, and then friends from the media. Balance natin. Okay. Dr. Ku.
Para lang ma-record. O, sige na. Para lang ma-record. Sige na, sige na. Akin na. Sign.
Thank you. Officers of our cultural agencies. We have to. Yeah. Okay. Senator Legarda will read her remarks.
I wasn't going to because of the... You hold it from me? Well, no, I just wanted to lighten the mood, and that's why I questioned about the artwork of the Lanzones. But see, it goes to show that when you ask questions, more questions come about. How we said that Rizal planted Lanzones in Dapitan, and Ambet said that Maria Makiling took out the poison from Lanzones. We already have two schools of thought, and I'm sure our imagination will people the air more. Anyway, let me read my message. My staff insists that I read my message today. As we close this meaningful gathering, allow me to express my profound gratitude to everyone who made possible the rebirth of Noli me Tangere and El Filibusterismo in the German language. To Surkamp Verlag, Morio Verlag, the translators and scholars who labored tremendously and with love, for ensuring that Rizal continues to speak to the world. There is deep symbolism in being here in Frankfurt, not far from Berlin and Ghent, where Noli and Fili first saw print more than a century ago. And here we have come full circle. The works that once challenged the conscience of an empire are now returning to Europe, not as cries of the oppressed, but as invitations to dialogue between past and present, between nations, and between cultures that continue to serve the common good. Rizal believed that the path to nationhood began with enlightenment. He taught us that reform must begin with the mind and that knowledge is the first act of resistance. In Noli and Fili, he revealed not only the struggles of his time, but the moral challenges that still face us today. The abuse of power by global hegemons, the silence of the educated, the indifference of the privileged. These are not relics of the past. They remain as lessons for our age today. And as we confront the crisis of the time, the climate emergency, the loss of pre-colonial heritage, and the erosion of truth, Rizal's wisdom offers both a mirror and a map. In Noli, we find the belief that the enlightenment of the nation is born out of empathy and compassion. In El Fili, we fathom the pain that follows disillusionment, yet also the moral courage to demand change. Together, they remind us that Filipino nationhood requires more than patriotism and shared identity. It requires heart and courage. The heart to feel the suffering of others and the courage to act on it. As someone who has spent so much of my adult life, more than 35 years, championing education, arts, and culture, the preservation of our cultural memory, I see this launch today more than a literary event. I see this launch as an act of renewal, a promise that our stories, when told and retold, when shared beyond our own borders, can still change lives and nations. To our German friends, may these translations open new paths of understanding between our nations. Rizal's writings remind us that the pursuit of knowledge and compassion is a shared human endeavor that transcends geography and time. To our fellow Filipinos abroad, may this remind us that we are heirs to a rich tradition of thought and conscience. Wherever we go, the wisdom of Rizal's words can guide us towards the heart and courage necessary for our national survival. And as we close, let us remember what the words of the young Crisostomo Ibarra, who is Rizal's reflection of his own ideals in Noli me Tangere. And I quote, "I seek truth by means of study, for I wish to be human," unquote. May this remind us that to learn is to live with purpose, that our shared humanity is strengthened each time we seek truth, justice, and compassion. Maraming salamat, Dankeschön, thank you very much, and may Rizal's light continue to guide us all. Thank you to our poets, our readers, and the heir of Rizal. We bow to you, and of course to our GOH team, Neni Santa Romana Cruz, Kristian Cordero, Ani Almario, Karina Bolasco, Ria Brino, Patrick Flores, Nida Ramirez, and the NCCA, NBDB, and everyone who has helped out. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
And where is Ambet? He will do a maybe a lecture on the story of the Lanzones one day. Okay. October, season ng Lanzones.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Na ano tuloy yung Lanzones.